Hello and welcome, friends. In this session that we are going to have today, we'll be talking about use of modern presentation aids. Right? Now, please understand that this is the last topic in Unit 5 and this will be completing the syllabus today. You would recall that we have talked about delivering presentations, and I had also discussed in the classroom how to deliver a good speech, how to be a good orator. So most of the things that you have to cover as far as presentation skills are concerned, they have already been covered. So presentation skills basically would mean how you can deliver your presentation well, how you can be a good orator, right? However, when you have to deliver your presentation, and this would happen very often when if you are pursuing your BBA, and once you get into the corporate sector, you might be working for some good company, or you might be working for your own self, you might be having your own business. Everywhere you would need to make presentations, and the presentations would have to be made on a very regular basis, and that is why you need to be a good presenter. To make you a very good presenter, you can also make use of various devices which help in making your presentation more effective, right? And in this session that we'll have today, we'll be talking about those devices only, how you can make your presentations more effective using the modern presentation aids. Yahan pe what does aids mean? Aids means whatever tools can help you in being a good presenter, right? So let's discuss these presentation aids now. I hope you remember this communication model which you have discussed in this very course. So you remember them. But suppose you are making a presentation on communication model, it would also be a good idea to, rather than writing down everything on your slide or while you are making the presentation, you should make use of these kind of things. This is a diagram, so you can make of this when you are making a presentation. So when you make use of a diagram when you are making a presentation, you are able to better communicate what you want to communicate, right? So make use of diagrams. Make use of diagrams like this, because it would always be easier for you to communicate the message using such diagrams, and it would also help the audience understand what you are saying. So it will make your communication more effective if you are using these kind of diagrams. For example, you can make use of these kind of pictures. Now this is called a clip art, and here the presenter has used this clip art to talk about teamwork. So rather than writing down teamwork and what all teamwork comprises, he has tried to use this picture to communicate the same message. A picture is worth 1,000 words. This is what you say. This is a dictum. This is a oft repeated dictum. This is a saying. And that is why if you are making a presentation on team working or coordination, this can be a good aid for you. You can make use of this tool. You can make use of this device. You can make use of this kind of a picture. Now these pictures are called clip art, CLIPARTS, and you can easily find them on internet. So for example, if you have to make a presentation on how I spent my holidays and you want to make use of clip art, you go to Google and search for clip arts, how I spent holiday, and you will get some clip arts, and from those clip arts you can choose the ones which are most relevant to your presentation, right? So apart from pictures and models and pictures like these and diagrams like these, what else can you use? You can make use of maps also, right? So if you want to tell somebody about Pithoragarh, rather than telling him that okay, to the right of Pithoragarh lies Nepal and to the left lies Almora, to the north east lies China, if you show him this particular map, don't you think they would be better able to understand what you are trying to tell them? And it would be easier for you to communicate your message as well. So you can make use of these kind of maps as well. Make use of these kind of emoticons or emojis also. Do you understand? So this would help you make your presentation more effective. You would be better able to reach your audience. You can make use of this kind of a photograph also. So you are trying to communicate how children enjoy their life in their childhood, or how childhood days are absolutely carefree. So you can communicate the same thing using these pictures. So what am I trying to tell you is basically that rather than writing down everything while making a presentation on your slide, on the PowerPoint slide that you have, or maybe rather than talking about everything, if you make use of these kind of tools, you can make use of maps or pictures or models or diagrams or maybe emojis or maybe various photographs or clip arts, you would be better able to send across the message that you want to communicate, and your receiver would also find it more comprehensible and he would also find it more interesting. Fine. Now let's talk about the various presentation modes that you have. You know about the PowerPoint presentations that you have now grown accustomed to. You have seen so many PowerPoint presentations made by your faculty members during your orientation program. Also, you yourself would be making such presentations. So, what are the other modes apart from these PowerPoint presentations? Play cards. Now you have a look at what a play card is. Now this is a person who is making a presentation and he wants to maybe show a diagram to the audience, but then he does not have access to a computer and a PowerPoint presentation, so he can make use of this play card. He can write things here, you can, as an orator, draw diagrams here, you can do so many things here, and this is something that you'll show to the audience while delivering your presentation. So this is an example of a presentation mode. Play cards, PLACARDS. Then you can make use of posters or charts also. Now this is an example of a poster. This person is actually addressing these three people and he's making use of a poster or a chart to send across his message, to make his message more comprehensible by the audience. So he's drawn this whole diagram on this particular chart. Now you can use these devices when you don't have an access to a computer or to a PowerPoint presentation. You can make use of flip charts. Now supposing, why do you need flip charts? Let me go back a little. Now supposing you want to show three different diagrams. So you have drawn one diagram here, but then where do you draw the second or the third diagram? So for that you have got flip chart. You can draw the first diagram here and then you'll flip it. You'll turn the page around. That is why this is called a flip chart. This looks like a chart, but then you have to flip this page. Now this is the page that you will turn around, and then this second page would be there. Therein you can write or draw the second diagram. Likewise, there can be 10-12 different pages according to your requirement, and you can flip one page after the another, and this way you can take the audience through your presentation. So this is an example of a flip chart. Now this is a PowerPoint presentation. Since you already know about it, I'm not going to mention it in bold. So basically PowerPoint presentation, however, for this you need to have access to a computer, you need to have an access to Microsoft PowerPoint, which is a software application which comes inbuilt in so many computers, and you should also know how to operate Microsoft PowerPoint, how to work on Microsoft PowerPoint. Fine. There, once you have this skill, then you can make use of PowerPoint presentations also while making any presentation or while delivering any address. This is fine. Now, how to make a good PowerPoint presentation? This is something that I will also be covering in Computer Fundamentals, the practicals. So I'll be taking practicals wherein I'll be talking about a few features of Microsoft PowerPoint, and then the task for you would be to actually make a presentation and deliver it. Fine. So that is why I'm not going to deal with Microsoft with PowerPoint presentations here in this particular session. Fine. So these are the things that you are going to use while making such presentations. You have to ensure that you use minimal number of words. Don't use too many words. Use pictures instead. I've talked about this in the last session, in the last slide that I've discussed in the beginning of this very session. So don't use too many words. Don't populate your slides or your presentations with too many words. Make instead use of photographs, pictures, snapshots, maps, diagrams, models. This would always be more effective. And then as far as other presentation tips are concerned, you have to go back and refer to the discussion on how to deliver a good speech, and the same points which we had discussed there, they are going to be applicable here as well. So this concludes the session today, and with this we also complete our syllabus. You would recall that we have had 2 quizzes. The first one was on Unit 1 and the second one was on Unit 2. We would be having 3 more quizzes, but I would not be taking these quizzes in online mode. I would be taking these quizzes when you come and we have a direct interaction in offline classes. Therein we'll start off with the quizzes, so please be prepared with the quizzes. In the meanwhile, I would not be posting any more lectures since I've completed my syllabus. In the meanwhile, you'll have to make use of this time to complete the 2 assignments which have already been given to you. The first one was the first one was actually reading a literary piece and then making a presentation on that particular literary piece. So you have to be ready the very first day we meet, or you may be called any day after 25th of December for such presentations. You have to present. And second assignment was for you to go through Word Power Made Easy, a minimum of 20 sessions. So these 2 assignments you have to complete in the meanwhile, and the deadline for the second assignment is February 1, while for the first assignment, that is going through a literary piece and then presenting it, is 25th of December. So you please be ready, and in the meanwhile also keep reading newspapers. So thank you very much for your time. As I mentioned already, I would not be posting any more lectures. Good luck.